Here with reaction is Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator, thank you for joining us. I mean, everybody understands if you have a technical glitch, but Bidenomics, that's not a technical glitch. That is on purpose.
Well, Jason, here is a cold, unfortunate dish of truth. President Biden's #1 accomplishment since he's been president is to lower the standard of living and quality of life for most Americans. He's a nice guy, but when it comes to economics, President Biden is like a hog on ice. It's not complicated. The United States has the largest economy in the world, and we have the largest government in the world. And for 20 months, government has been growing faster than the economy. That's intentional. That's what President Biden wants, and that has caused inflation. And I think history will record that at least thus far, Joe Biden is an inflation machine. Now, the White House denies all of this. They don't want the president to talk about inflation. That's why they've invented Bidenomics. And here's the argument of Bidenomics. Your 401k crashed, and you have to sell blood plasma in order to go to the grocery store because the economy is so good. If you believe that, you shouldn't be driving, as Lindsey Graham says. There are only two ways to get control of the inflation. Door number one is the Federal Reserve raises interest rates to 8 or 9%, which will crash the economy and throw millions of people out of work. Door number two is to have the Federal Reserve raise interest rates slightly more, but have the president and my Democratic colleagues in Congress reduce the rate of growth of spending and debt accumulation. Those are the only two choices.
Senator, isn't one of the other choices, I agree with both those. I mean, I think you need to do one of those, but you can also drive down the cost of goods by being an energy independent nation. And if you don't control energy, if you have the rapid rise of energy costs, every sector of our economy, it hurts. That's one of the root causes of this inflation. It wasn't the war in Ukraine and Putin's fault. It was the idea that we stopped producing energy in this country, right?
Well, that was part of it. We had a shock to the world economy when the supply of natural gas and oil was cut short. We weren't ready because President Biden had sacrificed America's energy independence on the altar of wokeism. But energy is a part of the inflation, but it's not the only part of it. What's caused inflation is too much money chasing too few goods caused by federal spending.
Amen. Totally agree. I want to get your take, Senator, on cocaine in the White House, because we don't seem to get straight, consistent answers. Are you going to be able, as a senator, to be able to understand what's going on with this investigation? Because my guess, just a guess, the United States Secret Service already knows how this happened. They just haven't told us yet.
Well, I haven't seen the news today. Did they find more blow in the White House, or are we still talking about the first stuff? Look, I've been in the Situation Room. There are cameras everywhere. I'm pretty sure the Secret Service knows. I don't know who did it. I don't know whose blow it was. If I probably shouldn't say this, but if my record was as bad as this White House's record, I'd probably give my staff blow too. I'm only kidding. You know, they'll get to the bottom of it. Frankly, I'm not saying it's not significant, but it's not earth-shaking. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they can make it a much bigger story, but they can also dismiss it. What I'm concerned about is they continue to morph their story. It changes, well, it was found here, then it was found here, then it was found over there, and it just seems as if it's being spun as a different story than it actually is, instead of just dealing with it directly.
Well, I'll say what I said the other night, Jason. It's never the crime, it's the cover-up. The White House could have handled this real simply by saying, hey, the Secret Service found some cocaine in the Situation Room. We don't know how it got in here, but by God, we're going to find out. And as soon as we find out whose blow it is, we're either going to fire them and or prosecute them. And we'll let you know. And then tell the American people the truth. But this White House doesn't do that. I don't know whether it's contempt for the average American, but they think they can stonewall and talk their way out of anything instead of looking the American people in the eye in front of God and country and saying, yeah, you know, some chowderhead brought some blow into the White House, and we're going to find out who it is and take appropriate measures, and we'll keep you posted.
Well, they never do it that smoothly, Senator, but that's why we always love having your perspective. Thank you for joining us tonight on Hannity.